Hi everyone, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Tuesday, the 23rd of February 2021. I'm using the Law of Attraction Tarot for today's reading. Let's see what the cards want you to know about Tuesday, what the day is going to be like. So let's have a look. I'm going to choose 3 cards to see what the tarot has to say. I hope you've had a really good start to the week. Let's see what Tuesday is about. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Then we have the Three of Cups in reverse. And finally, we have got the Tower in reverse. Okay, so let's see what this is about. The Knight of Pentacles is the only knight card usually in the regular tarot that's stationary, and the knights are all on the back of horses, and it really shows action and movement and passion and the desire to intervene or to insert yourself in a situation. So the Knight of Swords is usually depicted as a horse that's just being kind of bulldozed into maximum performance. Sometimes it's got wings, sometimes it's being whipped to move even more quickly. The Knight of Pentacles is the one knight who's just standing there watching. And the Knight card in itself is about extremes. It's about the best and worst of that element. And the element of Pentacles is Earth. So it has to do with the real world. It has to do with money. It has to do with your career, your expertise, your skills, and your level of skill. And the Knight of Pentacles is either very, very productive or he's completely absent. So either he's the best person in the office or he hardly ever shows up. And the point of the Knight of Cups is to manage those extremes and to find some sort of balance within those two opposite ends of the spectrum. And once you have found the balance, so in his case, showing up to work every day, and maybe not being the #1 salesman in the whole region, but doing a good job consistently. When he gets to that place, he becomes the King of Pentacles, and he's really secure in terms of work and money and his practical life because he's able to align himself with it, and he's able to perform in a way that other people want him to perform. Remember the knight? Think back to King Arthur. He didn't employ knights or get them around his round table because of their cooking skills or because they were really sweet. It was because they could fight and defend the country, and it was about really being able to intervene in any situation and saying, I'm here and I'm not going to permit this. So it's really kind of aligning yourself with conflict. That's what I'm being told about the knight today, that he's meant to ride into battle. I don't usually always talk about this. So there may be a situation that comes up today, first of all, that kind of triggers you into extreme behavior. So the boss comes in and says, what are you doing? And you're like, how dare you look over my shoulder? I've had it, I'm leaving. Or you don't even show up, and it becomes problematic, and you're going to have to fight for your job, and you're either going to have to go in or not. So you have a choice here. Ultimately, the point of the card is to find a middle ground. We've got this guy working at in this really kind of expensive looking building. He's working on the computer, but he's just sketching a dog. He's not using the keyboard. He's got a pen in his hand, and he's using this workstation to look up a picture of a dog and then to sketch it. I don't think he's paid for that. So that's really a nice way of presenting the Knight of Pentacles as someone who isn't really doing what he's supposed to and reacting in ways that are very personal and that have nothing to do with the institution or what's being asked of him. So make sure that you don't go into some personal loop of reaction and ask yourself, what am I supposed to be doing here? What is my role in this whole situation? And do I even want to work here? Is my behavior at work not good enough? Do I deserve to be fired? You know, it's really about looking at where you are in your life and trying to make the most of it rather than kind of digging your heels in and pushing against it and saying, well, you know, I work here and I've worked here for 5 years. I know my contract says that I'm supposed to work every 8 hours, but I only feel like doing 6 hours. That's not going to fly, even if you have been there for 5 or 10 or 15 years and you think everyone's your friend. So something becomes scrutinized, and it's up to you to find the middle ground and not to be reactive. The Three of Cups is friendship and love and positivity and having a good time. It's usually three women celebrating, surrounded by abundance, and it's really about just being with like-minded people and feeling connected and feeling happy and loved. In this deck, we've got someone unlocking a door to get into a room that potentially holds all of these things. Other people who are your friends on the other side of the door. Or a long day and a nice comfortable bed that you can lie in and just recharge your batteries. Or it can be a home and a romantic relationship. And you've just been out and now you're going in and your wife is there and she's happy to see you and you feel loved and you feel understood and it's all good. So this deck is saying that that isn't something that happens naturally. You have to find a key and a lock and bring the two together and then something opens and you have all of these good things. That's not been my experience. If you are alive and you go to school and you go swimming and you go to museums and you go to the parent-teacher conference, sooner or later you'll meet other people your age, whether you're the parent or the child. You will meet other people your age who you get on with, or even at different ages. And sooner or later you will cross paths with someone who sees things similarly to you, who wants to be your friend, and you don't have to have some secret special power to make friends. I really don't believe that. Excuse me, I'm just gonna close the window because someone's just started mowing or something. Okay, so I'm saying that if the card were this way around, then the deck is saying that the focus is a little bit off, find a middle ground, and don't feel like you have to have some special power to connect with friends. People want to be around you because you're alive. If you're a human being, you've got something in common with other human beings, basically. It's not something that you... True friendship is nothing you have to work for, or you have to get people to like you, or you have to do something to be to have value in a certain group of people. If you do any of that, you know you're already on the wrong track, because when you have to prove yourself to friends to get love, those are not friends. People who like you for you will appear in your life simply because you're alive. So friendship isn't this special secret thing that you have to kind of climb towards. It's something that the planet and the universe gives you free of charge. The card is in reverse. And this is interesting now. So I'm going to use the meaning of this card. So the card is, you have to have a key to open your happy place. So you have to achieve something to be rewarded for it. The card is in reverse. So even if you don't find the middle ground, you still have your friends. And in fact, if you can't find the middle ground by yourself, reach out to your friends and ask them for the key and say, hey, listen, I'm struggling at work or with my money. Do you have any suggestions for me? Could you give me some of your expertise? Hey, Sandra, you've been through this. Why don't you give me your experience? Maybe that'll help mine. So you do have friends. People love you. People support you. And those people are most likely to be in your personal life. And those people can help you in your public life, where people are less forgiving and friendly. And you don't have special status because your name is Simon and you've been there 15 years. Your value is going to be determined whether you do your job or not. So if things are difficult, ask for help. It will be provided. And then finally, we've got the, what's this? The 16th card of the Major Arcana. It looks like the Tower. It is the Tower. The Tower is usually this big structure being blown up and people go flying, and it really represents uncertainty and the rug being pulled out from under you and being in a situation that is not conducive to your comfort or happiness. So we've got someone out in the rain. Lightning strikes this tree and things go haywire. So either the lightning is going all the way down, or the lightning pierces the tree and releases these spirits which are dancing around the tree in kind of a death ritual. Ultimately, the tree isn't going to have a very good time. because it's being struck by lightning. This external destructive force comes in and it alters the tree's life. And that's what the tower is. Your life changes because certain things are being taken away and other things come in, whether you asked for them or not. The card is in reverse. So what lightning isn't going to strike and surprise you with some nasty, horrible thing that you have to deal with. In fact, you have the opportunity to build a tower that is going to serve you for a long time. I mean, I don't really, what is the purpose of a tower? Other than looking out at something. So a tower, when I was a teenager, I used to read these fantasy stories by David Eddings. Belgareth the Sorcerer was one of my favorite books. I read that when I was 14 years old. And they have, in this book, they have a system where there are, I think, 7 or 8 gods. And each god chooses a country or a number of people. And Belgareth, he follows a god who only has like 5 or 6 disciples. And each one of those disciples gets a tower. And when I was 14, I always thought, well, and all the disciples, by the way, are wizards. So I thought, well, you know, wizards live in towers. That makes sense. If you think of, what's his name, from The Lord of the Rings? Not Lord Sauron. Sauron lives in a tower, but the white wizard, the bad one, Saruman, he lives in a tower as well. So wizards live in towers, right? And I've always associated towers with learning, solitude, perspective, because they're high up. You can see everything from miles around. And it's usually the places that are in stories reserved for, you know, occultists and wizards who are researching and things like that. A tower in the real world, God, I'm embarrassed to be so thick. I mean, churches are a symbol that, you know, we as human beings were reaching up to the heavens. They have towers. Towers themselves, lighthouses, yeah, lookouts, signals, symbols, reaching up, overcoming the mainstream and elevating yourself to a new level. So the tower is really about rising above the chaff and being something special and having a perspective that is unique. And because the tower card is in reverse, you can build all of that today, whether you find the middle ground and ask your friends for help or not. Whether, let's say you don't find the middle ground, you don't ask your friends for help, the money situation becomes untenable, you've got bank charges and you're overdrawn. And what that means is that you may have an epiphany yourself saying, I can't continue to run my finances like this. I'm going to have to build a new tower, a new financial security in my life. Let's say you do find the middle ground. You don't really need to reach out for friends. You can enjoy them and build a new tower, a new, more comfortable working life, financial security, and lots of free time with your friends. You don't find the middle ground. You ask your friends for help. Someone understands how to even yourself out a little bit, what you can do to make it more positive. You implement that information and you build a tower which is more solid. You're able to build a working life that suits you. So on the one hand, you're able to stand up for yourself, and you're really able to just keep your head down and just be told to do whatever it is you should be doing. You're anywhere on that spectrum from one extreme to the other. And what I'm saying is that the middle on that spectrum is the best place for you to occupy. If you do feel like you're oscillating wildly, ask for help. But ultimately, the outcome of this day is positive, because whether it comes from hardship or something fabulous, you're going to be able to build a new security and a new structure in your life. So things aren't going belly up. You're not in danger of losing everything. This isn't the be-all and end-all. It may be somewhat stressful or challenging, but you'll really be able to build something fab. So please do embrace this. Number-wise, we got the Knight of Pentacles, which is a 1, and 3 is 4, and 16 is 20. Wow. 20 is 2 in numerology, and 2 is about a relationship. 1 and 2, I always do this. I love this for some reason. 1 and 2 is a relationship, and this is really the relationship with your friends, with yourself, and with your life. So it's relationships everywhere, and you're really the boss. Remember, the Knight is able to educate himself whenever he wants and to graduate whenever he wants. So you can do that for yourself and really add security. Fab. What a lovely day. It looks really positive. I hope you have a great time. I hope you make a lot of progress. If you have any questions about your life in the sense of what should you be doing for work? What is your life purpose? Why are you here? Why do you feel so different to everyone else? What's happening in your love life and in your finances and in your family life, in your spiritual development? If you have any questions about your life or your circumstances or where you want to be going, or you don't know where you're going and you want some guidance or some hints, then please get in touch with me for a personal reading. GregoryScott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. In the personal readings, I use astrology, the tarot, and numerology. The way I combine the numbers and the cards just then, I do with all three in my personal readings. And the astrology chart is really amazing. It's a blueprint of your soul. It's who you are. So I can analyze that and really see everything about you and answer any questions you've got. So if you are interested in that, then please do get in touch. If you like this video, click on like, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have a fabulous day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.